Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Divine Truth Tarot. Charlie is hanging out with us. He's watching a video here on the other side of the camera, a bird video on YouTube. Um, he wanted to be a part of the video, but he says, I don't want my face to show right now. So I'm really excited because we have 6 brand new decks that I'm going to introduce you to. Probably not all at once, but within the next couple days from one of our lovely Divine Feminines, Ronald. Thank you so much. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot. How could I forget this? He also sent me this amazing wolf. And if you see the picture that I have for the channel, the little, I forget what you call it, but the little photo, it is a wolf. So we're going to put him right there. And I love him or her. Let's call it a her, Divine Feminine. So she's amazing. She's magical, and she'll be in our readings a lot. So we have the Dark Mirror deck we're going to be looking at. I may tap into the Light Seers deck. We have the, give me a second, Notes from the Universe, Love and Connection deck. And then I also chose, just making sure, Dark Mirror. Oh, and then the Halloween deck, the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. So we will be looking at these decks for this reading, and then I'll be doing another reading later today, and we're going to be looking at some of the other new decks that was gifted to our amazing channel. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to start with the Light Seers deck, and we're going to go ahead and remove these, create some space here, and we'll come back to them in a moment. You guys know I'm very excited about the Halloween deck. Very, very, very excited. Let's put these here. Give us some crystal magic. Would you like to show yourself, Charlie? So I hope everyone's doing really well. There's been some heavy messages, some channeling that I've received over the past several days in regards to this entire journey, as I'm sure many of you have received as well. Many of you have reached out to me personally through email, sharing your stories and your vulnerability, and I thank you so much for that. It always helps to know that you're not alone, whether you're a reader, a leader in this journey, as I think we all are, in various different ways. We're all called here to be leaders and to be divine feminines who step into our power. So we're all doing it in our own unique ways, in our own timeline, and we're all equals. And when I shared my vulnerability, it was so nice to be met with others' vulnerability, and just, you guys really lifted me up, and I really thank you for that. I'm very deeply grateful. I don't really have the words to express what this community means to me. My voice is cracking. You mean as much to me as I mean to you, and this is our channel, this is our community, and I will be here as long as I'm able to assist all of us, including myself, including just everything that we go through on this journey, and just being there for one another. It means so very much to all of us. I know it does, and we're getting stronger together. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. We're starting with the Light Seers deck. And I want you to know, those of you who are asking about readings, give me a little bit of time, because I am starting to book out into November, but I need a little bit of time to get caught up. So just give me a little bit of time. I'll be announcing when I'm taking those new readings in the next 2 weeks or so, okay? So we start off with the overarching energy with the Knight of Cups. This is a very romantic night. You know, knights tend to come charging in, right? We think of the knight in shining armor. And of course, we're learning to be our own knight in shining armor on this journey. But this is a very romantic gesture that this knight wants to offer. You see the old-fashioned letter. You see the cup. He's offering his cup, the fruit. It looks like a fruit basket in a picnic. The red roses, indicating, symbolizing love. And then interesting, you see this wild stallion. It's like he's ridden up on a wild stallion. So he's a little untamed, okay? He's a little untamed. There's still a little bit of immature energy here. He's not the page, but he's not quite the queen or king energy. So he's, you know, you see like the high top Converse and you see like a very casual dress. So there's nothing wrong with any of this. This is completely without judgment. But just looking at it, you see kind of a younger energy or younger masculine. Very handsome, just very sort of chic in his own way, wanting to offer something. But I don't see this as being the union card. And I'm going to tell you why. I think a lot of times it's confusing on this journey and we might think, well, I'm in union. There's so much misinformation out there. And I want you to know that I'm always evolving with what I'm learning. So I take in everything I learn and discern. And that's why I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Because if something I say doesn't resonate, it's just simply not for you. It's not right or wrong. It's just not for you. And I think that as I learn and as I grow, you know, I may look back at videos from this year in 2 or 3 years and say, oh my gosh, what was I talking about? You know, or not necessarily what was I talking about, but there may be this energy of, oh my gosh, we've learned so much, we've come so far, and we'll have the answers. We'll be able to fill in the gaps and fill in the dots, right? And I think we learn as we go. So this is very much the energy of, it's that first gesture in coming together. So yeah, it's a step towards union, but this isn't full union. Full union isn't necessarily if you're living with the person. Full union isn't oh, we were in contact again, we're in union. That's not what union is. So union is a permanent union. We have a lot of sort of reunions, if you will. We come together, we're pulled apart. We come together, we're pulled apart. We come together, we're pulled apart. But when you step into full union, you are together and you're solid and it's a stable foundation and that's it. You are partners. There are no third parties, okay? So I just want to make that clear and I want to be tender about it because I know that I don't want to upset anybody or offend anybody, but I just want to make it clear of what union is and what it isn't. So let's focus on what union is. So that's great. We've got, you know, a masculine here who wants to send his love, open up the door, but isn't ready to devote full time necessarily to this union. There's still some back and forth energy here. There's still some balancing that needs to happen. Yeah, interesting. Look at this. So we've got the 7 of Cups in reverse and we have the 6 of Pentacles and the Judgment card. So let's talk about these cards. Let's have a conversation. Why? Because they're really interesting. So 7 of Cups in reverse tells me there's something, growth has stopped temporarily for some of these unions, for some of these connections. There's sort of like, it's like you feel like, I shouldn't say growth has stopped. It's the illusion in the 3D that growth has stopped. Like what has happened? Because if you see it right side up, you see that the seeds have been planted and now you just sort of sit back and you just surrender to the process of watching your dreams come to fruition. But when it's in reverse, there may be a little bit of nervousness. There may be a tendency to sort of want to control timing, a tendency to want to control your counterpart and want to sort of fast forward the process. Can we just get to where we want to be? Can we just get into union? But the universe is saying, no, I want you to pause and reflect and realize that things are happening the way they are, the way they're supposed to. And you know, surrendering is dropping into the divine wisdom and divine cycles, if you will, the divine cycle of life, the divine cycle of realizing that everything is happening exactly as it should. So I understand why the Knight of Cups showed up and why it wasn't the King of Cups, because there's been a pause in action in the 3D for a lot of us. And that's why the 3D has been so triggering in 2020. It's interesting that we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles to me indicates balancing, like a rebalancing, yin and yang, masculine and feminine energy, strength and surrender, and just a balancing in all areas and all aspects of life. It's not necessarily about making a decision. It's more about coming to the middle, like meeting in the middle. Like this would be a decision, a black or white decision, and it's in the gray area. It's meeting in the middle. And then the 6 of Pentacles is about fairness and equality. So this is about, you know, the Knight of Cups isn't quite ready to bring in that fairness and equality. That would be the King of Cups coming in. I'm going to offer you my cup. The Knight of Cups is like, oh, I'm going to offer you a cup. It's over here. But first I'm going to sort of give you all these romantic gestures. And the romantic gestures can be sort of blinding if you're not really awake. they're distracting, I should say, not blinding. They're distracting you to like the true purpose or the true message in this messenger. So what is the Knight of Cups saying? He's saying, I want romance, or there's passion there, but is there stability? Is this long lasting? And I think that may be a test for some of you. Your masculines might come in hot and heavy and passionate. It's going to be a test. Do you accept this? This is still crumbs, or are you going to wait for the whole shebang? So the Six of Pentacles says, I want to, I know there was an uneven give and take in the past, and now I want to give equally. So this is a beautiful energy. This is a very mature energy for the masculines to step into. And then lastly, we have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card, this is really about self-redemption, self-forgiveness first and foremost. When we can forgive ourselves, we can forgive anything and everything, everyone in our path. But if we're judging ourselves, it's like almost like we have no right to judge others, because, or if we're trying to forgive others but we haven't forgiven ourselves, it's impossible to do. So that's why the Ho'oponopono Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness focuses on forgiving self first. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. And we say that enough times, and we angle that, direct that energy toward ourselves, and then we can come back and start to introduce that energy to people that are in our life. If we think of people as just being reflections of us, or reflections of our wounds and reflections of our patterns, then really it all comes back to self-forgiveness anyway. So there's really no need to step into any other energy. If we're just, we're coming back to self, everything comes back to us, everything cycles around back to us. Why wouldn't we just focus on ourselves? And that's really what this journey wants us to do anyway. So some very balancing energy coming in, definitely some balancing energy, and I love that. And yet there's still like a little chaos here. Like it's like we have the two big pentacles and we have the smaller pentacles. So I do see some sort of chaotic energy still in the mix. And I know a lot of you are feeling that. But with 3 pentacles cards, 1 major arcana card and 1 cups card, there is an energy of grounding. There is an energy of bringing this into the physical. And that's been a theme for these readings for quite some time. And you guys know that, is that we're really working on the energies, not just in the 5D, but how do we make this? How do we water the plants, water the seeds, and create growth out of these situations? So we're going to go ahead and move over to the Notes from the Universe. This is a deck by Mike Dooley. If you guys don't get the Notes from the Universe emails, you're missing out. They're I don't read them every day now, but they're really great. They're super positive. They're fun. They're funny. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go to Mike Dooley, Dooley. Go to his website. He's really got a great story. He's got a lot of just great tips and positivity. He's a great manifester, a great teacher of manifestation as well. I've learned a lot from him. What do we have here? Karma is on your side. Interesting. So look, we have Judgment, which is all about, right, working through your karma, releasing your fears, releasing insecurities, forgiving yourself, forgiving others. And then beautifully, we have Karma is on your side. So if you could read all the minds that I read, hear all the prayers that I hear, and beat all the hearts that I beat, I wonder if you'd even believe how often you're thought of, talked about, and fallen in love with. It's payback time. On delay, the universe. Karma is on your side. So it's saying that for the divine feminines, it's your time. It's your time. Karmic cycles have been broken. They're not being broken. For most of us, they have been broken. Or you're just finishing up the finishing touches, like sort of like on a Christmas tree, the finishing touches where you put the angel on the top, or whatever you garnish the top with. It's putting those last few lights, and like I'm using Christmas, but it could be any holiday. It could be Hanukkah, right? It could be the last finishing touches, for Halloween decorations. It could be, for a birthday, like, oh, we got to get the streamers up. Or I'm just seeing all these images of holidays, which is really interesting. So what is it about the holidays? There's going to be something to celebrate very soon. Okay, thank you, Spirit. There's going to be something to celebrate. That's what Spirit says. And Spirit just wants you to know that you don't have to worry about whether, it's like what's meant for you will always be for you. So I think that's the message the feminines really need to hear right now. What's meant for you cannot pass you by. What's meant for you will always be for you, will always find you, and that will never change. Okay, can we get a message for the masculines, please? These are such beautiful cards. And look, okay, so as I'm shuffling, I see the forgiveness card. So it says, of course, anger can always be justified, but then so can forgiveness. Just depends on how much more you want from the adventure. Go for gobs, the universe. So look at this, guys. Look at the theme here. Karma is on your side, okay? This is all about just trusting and releasing and forgiving, judgment, forgiveness. And I mean, just forgiveness is the theme here. So the universe wants, you know, the divine feminine to focus on, not on where he or she has gone wrong, but on where you have gone right, and trusting that you're going to get the gifts that you deserve, that you're going to get the abundance, you're going to get the love, you're going to get the partnership, the job, the house, whatever. I mean, why can't we have it all? I told the story in my videos from, I think it was 2 days ago, and the 22nd, when I did 2 videos. In one of the videos, I talked about a friend that I had that I'm not friends with anymore. We just grew apart, but she was 10 years older, and her thing was always, well, I don't think we can have it all, Sarah. And I was devastated to hear this. Devastated. What do you mean we can't have it all? Like, why are we here if we can't have it all? It's not a joke that we meet the love of our life, or we can dream up our dream job or a dream home. I think we can all understand and have experiences. And why would we have that if we couldn't achieve it? Like, if you can dream it, you can build it. If you can believe it, you can create it. So I think it's really important that we understand that forgiveness is really it's coming in really heavy now as a theme, and it has been for weeks or months, so that we can move past the past, and move into the future. Okay, so let's go ahead. That was still for the feminine, so let's go ahead and get a message for the masculines. And then I want to do a message from the masculine to the feminine to masculine. Message for the masculines, please. Message for the masculines. Okay. It's not only about being right. Ooh, oh man. Masculines, masculine energy within all of us, masculine. This is about, oh man, so some of the masculines are still holding on to being right. They're still holding on to egoic tendencies or egoic quote unquote strengths, where they think it's sort of like playing games. It's stronger if I don't reach out. It's stronger if I ignore him or her. It's just, I'm stronger if I can be the one that walked away. But how is that serving you, masculines, walking away from the love of your life? How is that serving you to pretend to be happy when you're not? How are any of these things serving you? And I think, you know, they're going to get smacked in the face with karma. In all tests of character, when 2 viewpoints are pitted against each other, in the final analysis, the thing that will strike you the most is not who is right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish, but who went to the greater length in considering the other's perspective. Don't you agree? So this is about the masculine's facades, the ego facades breaking down. Wow. Wow. I just feel like I just got punched in the throat. I've still been experiencing that gagging. That gagging's been coming up. It's definitely a purging of old energies, a purging of past lifetimes of not being able to speak my truth. And I literally, as I was reading this, I just felt like I got punched in the throat and I just started choking. So there's definitely an energy here of the masculines not speaking their truth still and needing to speak their truth. So those feminines, if you're feeling this, your masculine is holding back their truth. And I got confirmation from one of our soul sisters. I won't mention her name. She wanted to remain private, but she did email me and she told me a story. It wasn't about her divine masculine, but it was about her partner, a business partner. And she said and I think maybe he is a divine masculine, judging by what she told me. He is not responding to anyone. She said on his phone, he's got voicemails, missed calls, text messages, and he's just not responding to anyone. He doesn't have the energy, and he said, I just can't do it. I just don't have it in me. So she, and I felt like she was channeling the masculines, and that was a message for all of us, so that we understand that if they're not in communication, It's not that they're not responding to you, it's that they're not responding to anyone. Like they're in this dark tunnel and they're trying to crawl their way out, and they just can't be distracted by anything or anyone. And I know that's a hard pill for the ego to swallow, but I think it's really true that it's like, look, this is one of the things they're purging out, is it's not about being right. I mean, if you're right and you're lonely, then pardon me, but what the fuck have you gotten? Where the fuck have you gotten yourself? If you're right and you're alone, and the love of your life is with someone else, or the love of your life, you just shut them out. How have you won, divine masculine? How have you won by getting the upper hand? This is not about the upper hand. So I think a lot of them are sort of being slapped on the wrist by the divine at this time. And it doesn't feel pleasant. It's not pleasant energy. It's not about being right. It's about being loved. It's all about love. Right? Could you see the other person's perspective? So I feel like they're being forced sort of to watch a movie. It's like watching a movie. Okay, so I'm being shown a movie screen where the divine masculines are all sitting in a room. There's like groups of them in different rooms. I'm not sure why they're separated. Maybe it's the different waves. And there's like 30 in a room. Okay, and they're being forced to watch what their feminines have been through, and they're being forced to see their perspective. And I do feel like they're going to be flooded with, just like the floodgates are going to open with their emotions, and they're going to see and feel and hear, depending on what their gifts are, what their feminine, maybe all of the above. They're going to be inundated with signs about what their feminine has been through, how much work he or she has done for them, for this connection, for humanity. And they're going to be in such awe. And they're going to have no choice but to reach out, because they're going to understand, look at what I've put them through. Look at what they've been through. Look at what they've endured for me. And I think that's what's going on with this card. Can we have a message from the masculine to the feminine? Okay, we have yeehaw. So immediately I think have more fun. When it comes to choosing who will be in your life, I recommend valuing their yeehaw above all others. Have it your way. Special orders don't upset us. Okay, so lighthearted after this heavy energy, the masculine says, this reminds me of cotton candy too. So cotton candy may be significant. One of you is going to say it's significant for you. Like you went to the fair and you had cotton candy with your masculine, something like that. Or you tasted cotton candy together, maybe for the first time. Or it's just, like a Six of Cups childhood memory, but I can taste the cotton candy. It's that palpable. So maybe is that a new gift coming online where I'm going to be tasting things now? Okay, thank you, Spirit. So yeah, the masculines are just saying, have more fun, divine feminine, let loose, and just enjoy your life. And I think that's such a powerful, powerful message to receive right now. It's just things, the heaviness, the density, the transmuting, the manifesting, just everything that this year has brought us. We're exhausted. So the feminine says back to the masculine, love is the reason. So the masculine's being a little cheeky here with this energy, this yeehaw card, a little cheeky. It's kind of sort of like, there's still some childish energy there, which is okay, right? It's like he's testing the waters. He or she is testing the waters. But the feminine says back, love is the answer. Each person in your life is there for a reason, and that reason always has something to do with love. So I feel like the feminine is saying, whatever you're leaving behind, to come towards this connection, whatever is ending, you can still experience and express love. And you can, this is about ending things with love and about beginning things with love. Let's get union energy. Union energy. These are fun cards. Let's get union energy. Thank you. Love doesn't have to mean near. That's, how much more accurate invalidation could you ask for? Some are better loved at a distance, for a while anyway, and that's okay. Besides, love doesn't really know the difference. Tell you, the universe. This is just perfect. Okay, so for those of you in complete separation, separated by oceans, separated by distance, separated by fear, separated by illusion, separated by anything, karmic situations, whatever it might be that's keeping you in separation and illusion or separation energy or fear, it's saying love doesn't have to be near. So the universe is saying that there's a reason why things are on hold. And I very much got that with the Seven of Pentacles. And there's a reason. It's almost like the universe says, we're keeping the energy at the Seven of Pentacles until the knight can grow up into the king or the queen. So that's, and then the balancing can happen, the sharing can happen, the sharing of ideas, the sharing of emotions. It needs to be dedicated effort on both sides. It just has to be. This has to be a balancing, concerted effort. It can't just be one person giving more than the other. That's just not, doesn't work for these divine connections. That works for karmic situations, okay? So beautiful, beautiful, validating energy. Thank you, Spirit. And we're going to move on to the Halloween cards. I may just get to the Halloween deck here. I've got some the next video that I'll be premiering today, we're going to be looking at the Sacred Destiny. I'm just looking, Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn and the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. It's all about Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, and that is really, really spectacular too. So we're going to be doing a special read on where we're at in the journey. And I think that's going to be really, I'm actually going to be, in November, I will be premiering a brand new reading using those decks in particular. And it's going to be all about your journey, your hero's journey, and where you're at on your journey and what changes you can make. Charlie, that's so rude. Hey, you're on camera. Well, at least he's not cleaning his genitals. Or is he? I don't know. Okay, so we've got the Halloween deck. So Spirit, what is the current energy? Current energy, that card wants to come out. Bombrack, sweetness and synergy. This is a particular type of bread. It's like a sweet loaf. So bring in some sweetness and energy into the connection. How do we do that, guys? Well, it's going to be different for all of you. And vampire, emotional intelligence. I feel like this is about acknowledging any emotional vampires that might be in your life, and by doing so, putting an end to those karmic cycles. I know I'm not going into too much depth right now with these, but I will need to study these a little bit more, but they're just really, these are fun. Oh, do you, look, hi. You realize he's on camera? He's like, how dare you, woman. Gosh. Charlie. Don't kiss me, Mom. That's embarrassing. Skull of Light, illumination. So we have the energy here of illuminating the path to figure out, okay, who is toxic? Who are the emotional vampires in my life? And how can I use my emotional intelligence to sort of sort through those people that are in my life? He's just now figured out that the camera's there. Oh, man. Now, these are slippery cards. This is the dark mirror card, so these are definitely shadow cards. Like the Light Seers deck is light and shadow. These are going to reveal shadow energies. So I'd like to tap into the shadow energies for the masculine right now. Shadow energies for the masculine. He's back to sitting on my laptop. Apparently, I'm not allowed to do any work. Ever. Okay. Shadow energies for the masculine collective. Thank you. Black flower fragrance. Bride in a cage. So let's take a look. So we have black flower fragrance and bride in a cage. Let's take a look at those. I'm going to actually check into the book. Let's start with the bride in a cage. Where are you, bride in a cage? Where are you? Okay, hold on. Where the heck is this card? Hello? Where are you? Oh, I'm looking in the wrong book. Oh my gosh. That's the wrong book, Sarah. Okay. Bride in a Cage. Tomorrow will be the right moment. Tomorrow will be better even if today is hell. This is about denial. So, did we die waiting for the perfect day, or were we never alive? When we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a little bit of this, a bit of that, a few kilograms of that, and also a couple of boxes of another this. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. Interesting. So this is about the masculines having perfection expectations. It's like destination addiction. I'll be happy when. Things will be perfect when. And this is about them feeling like they can't come forward until they have it perfectly right. Like I cannot move towards my feminine until I have everything perfect. And masculine, it's never going to be perfect, masculine. So you're going to need to drop that perfectionism attitude. Any of those Virgo tendencies or Virgo divine masculines in particular, this will apply to them in particular, or if they have strong Virgo placements, because nothing is perfect. And so that's what I think the masculines are working out right now is like, no, but it has to be, I have to come this way. It has to be perfect. And it's almost like they're stopping themselves from making any forward progress because they feel like if they don't get it just right, they're afraid they're going to miss their chance with the feminine for good. Like they're afraid this time he or she will walk away for good. So let's take a look at Black Flower Fragrance. The world is unfair. Fuck off, dear world. Fuck you. This is anger. This is about anger. So we've got denial, right? That was denial and anger. Denial. So it's like denying themselves, denying themselves joy, denying themselves pleasure, denying themselves love, denying themselves that new beginning. Remember, this is a shadow aspect. This isn't everything that's going on. It's not the whole story. So Black Flower Fragrance. If we want to go dark, go black. Don't stop to the evening, but embrace the night. Love is not a white dove, nor it turns people into angels. Love can be ugly. Love can be cheap. Love can be rotten. So this is interesting. So this is about this is about the masculines viewing love as something that hurts them. So the feminine is the most incredible, amazing thing to the masculines. The feminine brings them so much love, but it also brings them pain. Like they see you as the source of their happiness and the source of their pain simultaneously, and that confuses them and it scares them and it makes them run, it makes them hide. But you can't hide from yourself. I've tried it. I tried it in my awakening process, that lasted 2 decades, a span of 2 decades. I tried to hide from myself. I tried to, run. If I move, it'll do this. If I get a new job, I'll fix it. And you're always left with yourself. So masculines, you're always going to be left with yourself. And I think that's important to understand here because we cannot escape ourselves and we cannot escape our destiny. So try as they might, they're unable to escape this path. And I think it's frustrating them right now a lot. For the feminine, we have Colorless Angel. Colorless Angel. So dark energies for the feminine, the dark mirror, the shadow aspect. Let's take a look at this. Denial. So we've got 2 cards of denial, one for the feminine, one for the masculine. It is better not to feel rather than feeling pain. So these are so similar. Look, very mirroring energies here. So the masculine energy says, love can be evil, love can be pain. If love equals pain, basically. And the feminine energy says very similar. It says it's better not to feel at all because I don't want to feel pain. Apathy is the crowned king of nothingness and the shining queen of whatever. So this is about the feminine sort of stepping into this energy. Remember, guys, these are shadow energies. This isn't the whole picture. I just have to remind. The shadow aspect of the feminine energy right now is like, what is the point of all this? If it's just going to cause me pain, if I'm going to reach out and be ignored, or if this is not leading anywhere, if I'm not going to end up with my masculine, what's the point of all this? So that's the energy of the feminines and the shadow side. And the masculine is reflecting that back to her saying, well, love sucks, love's evil, love hurts. So like, why would I move towards that anyway, right? Why would I move towards that when, you know, I can't have what I want? It's like you're locked in a cage, like you're the bride that I want and I can't get to you. So what's the point of all of this? So both twins definitely feeling, trying to deny the love that they feel, trying to deny the connection in a sense. And, you know, we deny love and we deny the life force within us. So we're going to pull one more card here, and this will be union energy. And guys, remember, stay tuned for the next video that will be premiering later today, early evening-ish, and that will be premiering the new decks, and we're going to be talking all about the journey. So union energy, downcast pride. Let's see. These are very interesting. Downcast pride. So what do we have here? We have depression. Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. So Charlie's taking a nap. Yeah, it's almost like, don't quite understand what the book is saying if I'm being honest, but it says survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of subtly but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it all as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with a world that would spread us apart. So I feel like this is talking about the bigger picture of putting on a mask and pretending to be something we're not, pretending to be happy, pretending to be okay in a world that's just in flux and chaos right now and constant change. And it's also saying that, you know, what we call adaptation is not the result of a subtly but constantly destructive change. This is saying that just surviving is not enough. This is sort of the energy of when you're depressed, you feel like I'm just surviving. I'm not living, I'm not thriving, I'm surviving. So you hear a depressed person say that, someone who's in a depressive state say, I'm just surviving. Well, that's not enough, and that's not what we came here to do. So this is about getting out of that energy of just surviving and getting into the energy of thriving. Okay, and I think that relates a lot to the masculine energy. The feminines have conquered a lot of that, but the masculines are definitely feeling like, well, what's the point of life? And what's the point if I just survive, if it's just day to day, if it's just the mundane? So we have to step out of that energy and we have to see the bigger picture. I really don't want to end on that note. So let's go back for a moment to the Light Seers deck. It's just like I have to make a note to myself. I mean, those are good cards to have. We want to look at the light and the shadow, but let's not end on the shadow note. So let's pull in union energy, please. Justice. So, wow. So we have self-redemption, right? Let's pull out this card. Judgment and justice. And these have come up before, both at the same time in the same reading. When we have judgment and justice, we have self-forgiveness, and self-forgiveness leads to the new beginning with self. It leads to a new interpretation of life and of events, and this is going to lead out of the darkness and out of the depression. Forgiveness. So it's like depression to forgiveness, okay, seeing things clearly. Justice, I mean, this is that energy of balancing the scales and these connections and bringing what's yours, what's bringing in and bringing back to you, feminines, what's rightfully been yours all along through all and every lifetime, all lifetimes and every lifetime. So I really love seeing this. This is also about the reflection. So there's justice being brought into both twins' lives, and whatever that means for you. This could be winning a court battle or a court case, could have to do with your business. It doesn't necessarily have to do with a connection, but you know, justice is the 11, and interesting because we have judgment as 20, so that's 2, and then justice 2, so 11 reduces to 2. So we have the energy of union in both of these cards, and you know, this is sort of just the universe assuring us that union is on the way. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. Guess what? Guess what? Here's the story. We have the Lovers, the King of Wands. There's our king that we wanted, the King of Wands, a passionate, fiery new beginning, the Lovers. right? That spiritual union. And the Nine of Pentacles, the single card. This is the single card, the single king that says, I'm coming to you with my shit together, and I'm offering you passion. I'm offering you what you wanted all along. So we're going to end on that note. Have a beautiful day, guys. Stay tuned for a video coming later today, and I will see you all very soon. Take great care.